All right, let's see here. We're live. We're watching this Trump press conference this afternoon. Hail everybody in chat. I don't know how long this is going to be, but Wolf and Bruno, can you hear me? Wolf, I can't hear you. Hold on, let me fix this.
Yeah.
Wolf, can you hear me now? Why do I always have problems? Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. Wolf, can you hear me? Any second now, he will come out. And
Just asked a few people.
Oh, there we go. I can hear you guys now.
I can hear us.
Excellent. So anyway,
Well, hold on 1 second. Let me check the OBS. All right, go. Say something.
Sure.
All right, it's lighting up green. All right, I got an echo. All right, I got the echo out, so I think we're ready to go.
All right. Excellent. Do you want to give a little intro?
If you want to, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, let me just give some people, hello everyone in the chat, brief summary here of what's going on. We had major breaking news this morning. Roger Stone was indicted by Mueller, 5 a.m. raid. CNN was tipped off. He was eventually released on a $250,000 bail. He gave a brief speech, and now we have breaking news on Trump. He's going to be speaking about the partial shutdown, but I'm assuming he might go into and make comment on the Roger Stone indictment with the Mueller probe. So it should be interesting. We're here live bringing you this exclusive, and we're going to be talking about it in detail once he's done speaking. We're here with Panzer and Bruno and myself, Ice Wolf, and I hope everyone's doing okay today.
Oh,
and the president,
Trump speak.
The president should be out momentarily.
A minute. Just gonna creep with him. H-Bomb's already asked. So, yeah, Wolf's gonna talk about Roger Stone and all that after this. Wolf will get into all that. Wolf's like an expert on these guys.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is like when I talk, we all echo. So I'll try not to do so much talking.
All right. Well, I read the Roger Stone indictment. I think it was 25 pages. It doesn't show any Russian collusion at all. Once again, it's the indictment itself is just to intimidate and force these people into making a deal and lying. So we'll get into that. Just waiting on President Trump to come out.
What's up, Boris, H-Bomb, Seagorder of Todd? Who else do we got here? If you guys can share this, it'd be great. Obviously, that's Panzer. In there? No, Ice Wolf's right next to me, but just share this around for us. That'd be great. Hey, Morn. What's up, Morn? Sitting here waiting for El Presidente Trumpstein to come out. Wolf will go into the Roger Stone stuff in a little bit. Ian Zax, what's up, brother? Our original Guys in the Hood channel will be back on the 14th. And we're going to have a retro Guess the Ooh game. Guess the Ooh. 14th. It might be we might have to do it after Valentine's Day, though. Because we got to tend to our women folk. 6GDC, what's up, brother? XGDC's got a beautiful Rottweiler, and he's got another beautiful dog named Apollo. Breed he is. I think he's from Switzerland. Opening back there. All right, let me mute myself and let's listen.
Time. Hopefully it will be unnecessary. I want to thank all of the incredible federal workers and their amazing families who have shown such extraordinary devotion in the face of this recent hardship. You are fantastic people. You are incredible patriots. Many of you have suffered far greater than anyone but your families would know or understand. And not only did you not complain, but in many cases you encouraged me to keep going because you care so much about our country and about its border security. Again, I thank you. All Americans, I thank you. You are very, very special people. I am so proud that you are citizens of our country. When I say make America great again, it could never be done without you, great people. In a short while, I will sign a bill to open our government for 3 weeks until February 15th. I will make sure that all employees receive their back pay very quickly or as soon as possible. It'll happen fast. I am asking Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to put this proposal on the floor immediately. After 36 days of spirited debate and dialogue, I have seen and heard from enough Democrats and Republicans that they are willing to put partisanship aside, I think, and put the security of the American people first. I do believe they're going to do that. They have said they are for complete border security, and they have finally and fully acknowledged that having barriers, fencing, or walls, or whatever you want to call it, will be an important part of the solution. A bipartisan conference committee of House and Senate lawmakers and leaders will immediately begin reviewing the requests of our Homeland Security experts, and experts they are, and also law enforcement professionals who have worked with us so closely. We want to thank Border Patrol, ICE, and all law enforcement. Been incredible. Based on operational guidance from the experts in the field, they will put together a Homeland Security package for me to shortly sign into law. Over the next 21 days, I expect that both Democrats and Republicans will operate in good faith. This is an opportunity for all parties to work together for the benefit of our whole beautiful, wonderful nation. If we make a fair deal, the American people will be proud of their government for proving that we can put country before party. We can show all Americans and people all around the world that both political parties are united when it comes to protecting our country and protecting our people. Many disagree, but I really feel that working with Democrats and Republicans, we can make a truly great and secure deal happen for everyone. Walls should not be controversial. Our country has built 654 miles of barrier over the last 15 years, and every career Border Patrol agent I have spoken with has told me that walls work. They do work. No matter where you go, they work. Israel built a wall, 99.9% successful. Won't be any different for us. They keep criminals out. They save good people from attempting a very dangerous journey from other countries, thousands of miles, because they think they have a glimmer of hope of coming through. With a wall, they don't have that hope. They keep drugs out, and they dramatically increase efficiency by allowing us to patrol far larger areas with far fewer people. It's just common sense. Walls work. That's why most of the Democrats in Congress have voted in the past for bills that include walls and physical barriers and very powerful fences. The walls we are building are not medieval walls. They are smart walls designed to meet the needs of frontline border agents and are operationally effective. These barriers are made of steel, have see-through visibility, which is very important, and are equipped with sensors, monitors, and cutting-edge technology, including state-of-the-art drones. We do not need 2,000 miles of concrete wall from sea to shiny sea. We never did. We never proposed that. We never wanted that because we have barriers at the border where natural structures are as good as anything that we can build. They're already there. They've been there for millions of years. Our proposed structures will be in predetermined high-risk locations that have been specifically identified by the Border Patrol to stop illicit flows of people and drugs. No border security plan can ever work without a physical barrier. It just doesn't happen. At the same time, we need to increase drug detection technology and manpower to modernize our ports of entry, which are obsolete. The equipment's obsolete. They're old. They're tired. This is something we have all come to agree on and will allow for quicker and safer commerce. These critical investments will improve and facilitate legal trade and travel through our lawful ports of entry. Our plan also includes desperately needed humanitarian assistance for those being exploited and abused by coyotes, smugglers, and the dangerous journey north. The requests we have put before Congress are vital to ending the humanitarian and security crisis on our southern border. Absolutely vital. Will not work without it. This crisis threatens the safety of our country and thousands of American lives. Criminal cartels, narco-terrorists, transnational gangs like MS-13, and human traffickers are brazenly violating U.S. laws and terrorizing innocent communities. Human traffickers. The victims are women and children. Maybe to a lesser extent, believe it or not, children. Women are tied up, they're bound, duct tape put around their faces, around their mouths. In many cases, they can't even breathe. They're put in the backs of cars or vans or trucks. They don't go through your port of entry. They make a right turn going very quickly. They go into the desert areas or whatever areas you can look at. And as soon as there's no protection, they make a left or a right into the United States of America. There's nobody to catch them. There's nobody to find them. They can't come through the port because if they come through the port, people will see 4 women sitting in a van with tape around their face and around their mouth. Can't have that. And that problem, because of the internet, is the biggest problem. It's never been like this before that you can imagine. It's at the worst level, human trafficking, in the history of the world. This is not a United States problem. This is a world problem. But they come through areas where they have no protection, where they have no steel barriers, where they have no walls. And we can stop almost 100% of that. The profits reaped by these murderous organizations are used to fund their malign and destabilizing conduct throughout this hemisphere. Last year alone, ICE officers removed 10,000 known or suspected gang members like MS-13 and members as bad as them. Horrible people. Tough, mean, sadistic. In the last 2 years, ICE officers arrested a total of 266,000 criminal aliens inside of the United States, including those charged or convicted of nearly 100,000 assaults, 30,000 sex crimes, and 4,000 homicides, or as you would call them, violent, vicious killings. Can be stopped. vast quantities of lethal drugs, including meth, fentanyl, heroin, and cocaine, are smuggled across our southern border and into U.S. schools and communities. Drugs kill much more than 70,000 Americans a year and cost our society in excess of $700 billion. The sheer volume of illegal immigration has overwhelmed federal authorities and stretched our immigration system beyond the breaking point. Nearly 50 migrants a day are being referred for medical assistance. They are very, very sick, making this a health crisis as well. It's a very big health crisis. People have no idea how big it is unless you're there. Our backlog in the immigration courts is now far greater than the 800,000 cases that you've been hearing about over the last couple of years. Think of that, though. 800,000 cases because our laws are obsolete. So obsolete. They're the laughing stock all over the world. Our immigration laws, all over the world, they've been there for a long time, are the laughing stock all over the world. We do not have the necessary space or resources to detain, house, vet, screen, and safely process this tremendous influx of people. In short, we do not have control over who is entering our country, where they come from, who they are, why they are coming. The result for many years is a colossal danger to public safety. We're going to straighten it out. It's not hard. It's easy if given the resources. Last month was the third straight month in a row with 60,000 apprehensions on our southern border. Think of that. We apprehended 60,000 people. That's like a stadium full of people, a big stadium. There are many criminals being apprehended, but vast numbers are coming because our economy is so strong. We have the strongest economy now in the entire world. You see what's happening. We have nowhere left to house them and no way to promptly remove them. We can't get them out because our laws are so obsolete, so antiquated, and so bad. Without new resources from Congress, we will be forced to release these people into communities, something we don't want to do, called catch and release. You catch them. Even if they're criminals, you then release them. And you can't release them from where they came, so they go into our country and end up in places you would least suspect. And we do as little releasing as possible, but they're coming by the hundreds of thousands. I have had 0 Democrat lawmakers volunteer to have them released into their districts or states, and I think they know that, and that's what we're going to be discussing over the next 3 weeks. The painful reality is that the tremendous economic and financial burdens of illegal immigration fall on the shoulders of low-income Americans, including millions of wonderful, patriotic, law-abiding immigrants who enrich our nation. As Commander-in-Chief, my highest priority is the defense of our great country. We cannot surrender operational control over the nation's borders to foreign cartels, traffickers, and smugglers. We want future Americans to come to our country legally and through a system based on merit. We need people to come to our country. We have great companies moving back into the United States. and we have the lowest employment and the best employment numbers that we've ever had. There are more people working today in the United States than have ever worked in our country. We need people to come in to help us, the farms, and with all of these great companies that are moving back. Finally, they're moving back. People said it couldn't happen. It's happening. And we want them to enjoy the blessings of safety and liberty and the rule of law. We cannot protect and deliver these blessings without a strong and secure border. I believe that crime in this country can go down by a massive percentage if we have great security on our southern border. I believe drugs, large percentages of which come through the southern border, will be cut by a number that nobody will believe. So let me be very clear. We really have no choice but to build a powerful wall or steel barrier. If we don't get a fair deal from Congress, the government will either shut down on February 15th again, or I will use the powers afforded to me under the laws and the Constitution of the United States to address this emergency. We will have great security. And I want to thank you all very much. Thank you very much.
Audio circuit for the Reuters.
All right, there you go, folks. There is a 3-week postponement we have in opening the government. No mention of the indictment of Roger Stone this morning, but I took some notes to go over exactly what he said, and he mentioned a few times, which I find interesting. I took got a couple bulletin points here I'd like to go over. Pans, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. He took no questions whatsoever.
He ran like a little kid.
All right, this is yeah. He didn't take any questions. I guess he just wanted to get it. I took some notes, and I just wanted to go over everything with you guys. All right, it's a 3-week postponement to February 15th. What I think, he got pressure. What they didn't mention, 5 senators called him last night, and we can all guess. I think it was Romney, the Collins from Maine, and they put pressure on him to temporarily open this thing, just so people can get paid. All right, I think people get their retro checks and get paid, and then I think what he's going to do, if they can't hammer out a deal in these 3 weeks, he can declare a state of emergency, which he mentioned numerous times, or he'll get the funding through through regular legislation channels, which I doubt that's going to happen. I mean, they basically said they're not going to give it to him. So I am probably certain that he's going to declare an emergency on the border. Another thing that he mentioned, which I found very interesting, folks, I don't know if you caught that in the beginning of his speech, was he said, out of any country, he mentions Israel. He mentioned Israel's border and how it keeps out 99% of people, and it's very effective. Did you catch that, folks?
Yeah, keeping out people that it's their land, and same over here. They're going to bring in these muds. What a shame.
Well, Wolf, I mean, come on, let's be honest. They don't have TV commercials offering them people from other countries land and free food and free apartment and housing, and hey, live off of us. Just all you got to do is come here. There's no freebies. Israel don't want nobody. They're righter wing than anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I just found it odd on some of these points. I was making notes. He did mention the Israeli border, which I found very odd, but he knows bringing that up, it's tough for the ooze to counter that narrative. So I think that's why he said it. I think he's very aware of who our masters are. But he did mention a few times the threat of declaring an emergency. Okay, so which I think every time he's speaking, I think that's where we're heading. They're not gonna agree. Listen, he basically offered them amnesty. They know if they give him the wall, folks, he will be reelected. And I've spoke to Panzer about this, and it's odd that he didn't do this immediately when he got elected, and he chose it for a time when the Democrats are running the Congress. So, which is very odd, and I've always found it, because if you look at Obama's presidency, his first year and a half, he did his whole agenda, shoved it down everyone's throat, got it passed, spent all his political capital, and then he coasted the rest of the time. I just find it odd he would choose this now. Maybe it's a strategy. I don't know. Another thing I wanted to bring up that most folks didn't get, I will tell you this, and this is why I think one of the main reasons why he agreed to this. Guess what's being affected now? Airports. There's starting to become airport delays. So let me tell you something, folks. When that happens, that starts affecting everybody. So don't fool yourself. There was pressure on that, because when you got to have your flight delayed, it really starts aggravating just a regular Joe Schmo, his buddies with money, people flying, businessmen flying all over the place. So that is a key thing. Airport delays, which they didn't mention. Okay. So once again, we had 5 Republican senators called him last night. Okay. So there's pressure on him. And then the airport delays. Okay. That's huge. They mentioned it in the papers today. That's what's beginning, and it will get worse.
You talk about the Roger Stone stuff, please?
Sure. Yeah, I'm pretty much done. That's basically what he said in the speech. You guys all heard it. I just wanted to give you a little insight and background to what exactly he said a couple of times. I think we're going to definitely go through a state of emergency. They're not going to give him anything.
Yeah.
Remember, he mentioned the Israeli border, which I found to be ironic. But that's all I have to say.
Well, it's the same tit for tat that they're always playing, the Mickey Mouse game. They have the shutdown. The Democrats came out and said, "Oh well, guess what, folks? You're not getting your tax returns." So the Republicans fired back, or the Trump administration, whatever one, and said, "No, you'll be getting your tax returns back. It's not going to be affected." And then it's just one thing after another. It's like, yet again, why did we wait till we lost the House to push for the border wall? I don't get it. I think it's a setup.
I don't think they're going to give him the money for the border wall. I think that was just through in the beginning. Why didn't he just push it through in the friggin' beginning, this moron?
I don't know, but most projects are so.
These caravans are going to keep coming.
Well, they've been coming. They just popularized it when Trump was in office. First thing in a project, a multi-billion-dollar project, is they have to allow some money for spending on coming up with designs of the wall, or a building, or a road, whatever they're building. And there hasn't even been that. So I just wonder, what is really going on? But they are putting up border wall in sections of the country. There's a live stream that I saw yesterday that actually has a channel where they're actually putting up border wall. So I don't know if it's part of the Trump part, or if it's replacement over another wall. But there's no explanation. I mean, You can't trust the media, you know, and that's what we relied on, the media, to tell us the truth of what's going on with our government. And they've been lying to us all this time. I think we need some strict policy change.
This morning. What was he? I don't know much about it. I wanted to hear Wolf tell me about it because I didn't hear nothing about it. It's the first time I heard about it.
Who got arrested?
Stone?
Yeah, well, I think we wanted to get the border wall out of the way for now, but let's get into this joke of a story. You ready, Wolf?
It's gone.
He did what?
Wolf's not here.
He showed us? How dare he?
Call him back. I think he got hit a button and got kicked out of the accident.
What time is it? Okay, yeah, he's out of the call. Hold on. Let me add him back to the call. Where are we at? But yeah, I mean, listen, Stone. I mean, they have nothing on.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry, guys. You there?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had some idiot called me. But all right, quick thing. I'll go over the Roger Stone thing. 5 a.m. this morning, Roger Stone's house was raided by the FBI. 17 vehicles, guys with assault rifles, the usual attack. All they had to do, and also CNN was tipped off. They happened to be out front, which was definitely done by Mueller. Anyway, so they take him out. It was a real circus. They didn't have to do that. They could have just called his lawyer, said surrender in. But, this is what the federal government does to intimidate you. Okay, there's a 25-page indictment against him. It's all nonsense. If you read through it, it's witness intimidation, but it doesn't link him to Russian collusion. He basically told one guy that he was on the phone with never to talk to the FBI, and it seems like he was just basically telling people don't say anything to these people, and they're trying to use that as witness tampering and stuff like that. Once again, this witch hunt that's going on, that's been going on now 2 years, that's going to continue to go on probably through his reelection. Trump's got to put an end to it.
Well, I don't support this guy anymore. I'm just fed up with Trump. I don't like him one bit. But guess what? He's still our president. I had no hard feelings against Obama. And this crap. I mean, CNN showing up to his house at 4:00 in the morning. Come on.
That's my biggest point with the FBI. It's a disgrace what they did. I mean, the guy's 66 years old, right? And this was not necessary. You know how much this might have probably cost the taxpayer just to do that alone, when they could have just called his lawyer. He came out and gave a statement. They tried to shout him down, just basically saying he will fight it. He's not going to be intimidated. He's willing to go to jail. So that was the circus that was going on this morning. And then we went into that they hashed out some kind of temporary deal for the government. But my point is this: all these indictments that Mueller is doing, if you really read them, if you get a chance, read the indictment against Roger Stone. It's basically all nonsense. I mean, it really is. I mean, and you have to wonder, well, what are they trying to hide? What are they trying to do? What is really going on in the background? And I think many of us don't know what's going on. I listened to a speech recently by George Soros, and this is exactly what he said. And I will speak to Panza later. Maybe we'll do a stream later on tonight or tomorrow and show you this clip. Basically, George Soros said he commended Trump on his gathering people together to get in and squeak out a win. But basically, he said, it's just a temporary blip, and he'll just have one term. Now, George Soros is saying publicly that Trump's just going to be a one-termer. And then you look at everything that's going on, you have to say to yourself, well, how does this guy, maybe he's right, I always believed in the idea that presidents are selected, not elected. With Trump, I can't really tell you. I don't know. I think the far-right Israelis got him in. The Netanyahu crowd. I think it's not a Russian collusion what's going on. it's a Jewish collusion.
Orthodox Jews got them in.
That's correct. See, there's two sides of the coin, folks. You have the liberal Jews that are for the Democrats and Hillary Clinton, and then you have the far right ones that are for the neocons and the ones that got Trump in. That is the key you need to know. Now, is Mueller covering up to tell you that, not to point, figure this stuff out, that it's all billionaire Jews that were behind Trump? I think so. He's covering up for powerful Jews, and I think that's what's going on. That's my take on it. You're hearing it from the wolf first.
Well, I appreciate the commentary because, it is a very delicate situation. We have to teach everybody what exactly is going on. The details are very important here. And there's somebody in the chat named Mildred. Hey, Mildred, you want to join the live stream? Well, anyway, yeah, I can't believe this stuff. This day and age that we have to deal with this stuff. The border wall should have been there before I was born. This crap. I mean, putting the Federal Reserve in 1913 and then going to war every year since is ridiculous. We didn't ask for this. Our forefathers didn't build this great country for this reason.
Yeah. Hi, Mildred, in the chat. I just say that. I mean, listen. This country is at the ending, stages of an empire. And matter of fact, I'm watching TV right now. I want you folks to remember what I just said. And right now, Fox News is showing the delays at the airports. Now, I told you, right, even before this even broke the news, that these airports are all backed up now, and that is one of the major reasons why he opened this up. That's the top one. So, and he'll go back to fighting these people hopefully in 3 weeks to get this border wall. But we shall see. We shall see. But getting back to what Panza just said, listen, the United States has never been the same since we put our banking system in the hands of international, cosmopolitan, rootless bankers. Okay, they've turned America into a trading post of total unlimited immigration, and this is the effects of it. The whole country is polarized. It's continuing to fall apart, and we're at a very dangerous point in the world as far as with war. They're beating the war drums for Venezuela. The election down there, the neocons want to get involved. I mean, it's insane. And the whole thing with Syria too, the pull out of Syria was still there. 2,000 guys were originally there. What is taking so long for it to pull out of this? So you got to keep that in mind too. It's been constant, unending war for the military-industrial complex, for elite Jews. It's sickening what's going on. And as you can see, this is all smoke and mirrors, most of the stuff that we're watching on here. But it is something we have to talk about. We have a lot of issues I'd like to go over. I don't think this is the stream for it. I'd like people to look up the Belt Road Initiative, which is a new Silk Road that's being made by China, Russia, and Israel to basically end and control, monopolize trade, about 60% of the trade worldwide. And that's something I'd like to get into with Panzer and Bruno on another stream, but we'll tackle that another time.
Hey, Range Vlad the Impaler.
Hey, Vlad, welcome to the stream.
Vlad.
So on another note, Bruno got a strike last night or this morning, whenever it was. But if everybody can, he has a second channel. It's a backup channel. Please go to that channel. He does a lot of good work. He's trying to keep us in the loop and keep us.
From Brazil.
No, were you?
I was trying to play boys from Brazil. And usually when they copyright me for other stuff, they don't give me a strike. But since it was a movie, they gave me a strike.
Bruno, yeah, that you can't play any movies. You can only do still images and critique it. Bruno, can you just let everyone know what your second channel is in case they don't know it?
Yeah, Bruno the Doberman. It's in the chat right there.
Okay, excellent. All right. Yeah, so in retrospect, folks, more nonsense coming from our government. But they, it's funny when whenever you see bipartisan stuff that at work, like funding Israel, they all vote for it. Anything that's against us, they come together. Anything that will help and secure the future of Europeans in this country, they were all at odds and they were all against us. Especially what they did to Congressman Steve King, censoring him in the Congress. It was just a disgrace. But more smoke and mirrors. So this thing will be postponed for 3 weeks, and I am going to say it here. He's most likely going to declare an emergency, a national emergency, because they're not going to listen. He has no choice. He's given them every opportunity, I guess, before he does that. But I think he reopened the government just because of the airports alone. It's huge. Because air traffic controllers, they have a shortage of them right now. So we'll see where this heads. So now we got to postpone it to 3 weeks.
Yeah. So
it was pretty disgusting how he kept talking about we need people to come into this country and help us work. He sounded like a fucking Chuck Schumer.
He always says that, and I find it disgusting too because, legal immigration is the problem.
It's like he's building a wall, and then he's saying we need people to come in our country to work. No, they're taking our jobs.
Well, I will give him credit for that because every Republican runs under that policy that we need more labor, more cheap labor. At least Trump's got the balls enough to say it, even though I'm against it. But
but this is the thing, though, Panza. It's why is it constantly we need third worlders for this labor? We have to start training our own people. This is the problem because you do what the elites around the world, especially in Western white countries, they're basically saying white people won't take these jobs anymore, and they have a case for that. The problem is we have to somehow train our kids in school that, hey, not everybody right now everybody's told you got to go to college. All they are is the indoctrination.
Those jobs will be taken. I know lots of people who used to pick up landscaping jobs on the weekend, roofing jobs. Nowadays, all they hire is illegals.
Well, the biggest thing with bringing these people in, they undercut the wages. So he says, let's bring in all these legal immigrants. But what they're going to do, they're all non-white, and they're going to keep the wages down. The problem is if you stop the flow of people coming in, wages will rise, and you'll have white people taking those jobs. It's very, very simple. But there is an agenda to make all Western countries non-white. And that's what they want to do. They want to get rid of our power, so basically they can pass anything they want against us and commit their tyranny against us. It's just how it is. That's their goal. I just wanted to mention something in regards to the chat. Melody Dawn had an accident. Who's in the chat yesterday? Hit a deer. The car was wrecked. I just wanted to say, I'm glad you're all right. She's fine, but I tell you, I've seen the pictures of the car. I mean, the damage that was done.
Okay.
Yeah, she's all right. She's doing all right. So I'm glad you're all right, Melody. And don't worry about the car as long as you're okay. Cars can be fixed. So that's all I want to say on that. And everyone else in the chat, thank you for coming.
And remember, we're doing some research on the Belt Road Initiative, and even in the Belt Road Initiative, the research that we're finding is that people from other countries are even doing research on it, and they see how dangerous these times are. They're actually saying that Trump was put in the office to be a big smokescreen for the whole move, and Israel's actually backing it. So they are a big supporter of the United States because we're their big military, but they're actually switching sides to China as we speak. So
very good point.
Very good point. So stay tuned, and you must not miss this stream. It's very important.
Once again, folks, it's the Belt Road Initiative. Okay, Israel, China, Russia, and Iran. This whole Iran thing is smoke and mirrors too. We'll get into it in that stream, but this is very important what we're going to be discussing, and a lot of people don't know about it. I've been talking about it for 6 months. I have to drill it into people's heads. They say I'm a broken record, but This stream is probably going to be one of our most important streams on the Belt Road Initiative. You can start looking it up and the danger of it. Just remember, when it's done, these countries will be able to control almost over 60% of worldwide trade. So, and Israel is actually at the helm of the high technology of this whole thing. So, very dangerous times coming up. And whether our country is combating that by containing China and moving missiles and stuff closer to Russia, I don't know. But I will be discussing this with Panzer, Bruno, and a few others on our next stream.
All right. Anybody else got anything to say?
I can't wait to listen to what Done with Diversity's got to say later. That's going to be excellent.
What's he got? What's he got going on?
Oh, actually, he's petitioning the White House right now.
Really?
Yeah, he's in front of it with some banners and stuff like that.
Oh, if I would have known he was there, I would have got him a case of beer.
That's what I'm saying. Whiskey.
No, whiskey. All right, folks, tune in for that stream. Belt Road Initiative coming up. I want to thank everyone for joining us on the stream. You want to give a little shout out to everyone?
Sure, absolutely.
Let me just say hello to
the A list is here, so give them a shout out.
Our fans here. Let me just give a shout out to Danny Torrance, Vlad. Thanks, Vlad, for coming in. Mikey Limo, longtime supporter. Chris Kaiser, Whipping Post, Subjective Opinions, Melody. Who else? Seagorda, DWR, Mildred. Reich's Run Funk, how are you, brother? It's good to see you. Seagorda, Todd, Miss Erie, how are you, sweetie? Whipping Post, if I didn't H-Bomb. Let's see, and I think that's it. If I missed you, my apologies. Mildred, thank you for coming in. Our usuals are here, our main goys and goyettes. I appreciate you coming in.
We miss you, Mildred.
Thanks everybody for tuning in to the stream. We appreciate it. God bless you all.
Yeah, and don't forget to visit Bruno's second channel. It was listed in the chat just for he's got a strike on his first one, so just a reminder. And tune in for our next stream that's going to be coming up, guys. And Morn, how are you, Morn? That's it, Panzer. Anything you got?
Nope, that's it.
All right, folks, thanks again, and enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you soon. Oh, Mildred, all right, Mildred is Melody's mother. I know.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah, my apologies, Mel. I didn't know who that was.
I thought that was Claude. I thought it was Claude.
No. Melody just said that's her mom. Well, how are you, Melody's mom? So, thanks for joining us. The deer hit us, Wolf. Yeah. Oh, you were in the car too. Well, I'm glad you're all okay. That's all that counts, because that's all we have is each other. You know, cars can be fixed. Just remember, folks, cars can be fixed. All right. Love yous all, guys. Love yous all. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. Stay away from opiates. Drink in moderation. We got to help each other. Love you all. Panzer, thank you. And thank you, Bruno.
Bless you.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, folks.
Happy 9/11.